I say what's up when they see me around the city, but really no reason to talk.
It's week 14 of the National Football League, and this one features the Saints' leader at quarterback, as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the Saints and the Colts on Monday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we culminate pivotal Week 14 with a great Monday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and our home team. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Saints in this matchup. They think they can run the football in this one, but there's a group on the other sideline that thinks otherwise.
Yeah, it's always intriguing when you pit an offense against a defense. It seems like they can cancel each other out. We've got a top 5 rushing offense against a top 5 defense. So a lot of times it comes down to execution and maybe a little bit of that what coaches call want to.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 1 back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the side.
In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
And it'll be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. This taken in at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know and often happens, this is all still subject to change.
You're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. Now you figure that they'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw right there they want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
2 yards, good enough for a first. The Colts at 500 at 6 and 6. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
But now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Finding space at the 40. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
16 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him try to come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Second and 13. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
It's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 5.
Looking to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fields it right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game. It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Complete to number 49. A gain of 4. It's now a
second and 6.
At the 35-yard line.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
They'll look to throw again. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. A 6-yard pickup.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football on the 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And it's a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. His 2nd catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Now a give right side. It's Patton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did. But poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Completes this one to Meredith. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Complete to number 14.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll set up to throw. Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 26. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They'll run on first down. Patton, and he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got his guy. It's Patton over the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that one off the mark. Incomplete.
He could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit at 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw here. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. And the Colts will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you it's not very good.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
He'll drop to throw, and that's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Flush to his right, and incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away, but that brings up 4th.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
This is taken at the 18. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the 2nd quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This 1st half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Back to throw again. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone as a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Back to throw now on 1st down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This will be caught at about the 6. Oh, and he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line, and they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far. And that's going to be how this first half will come to an end.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where it was the visiting Bengals who were able to come away with the road victory. The Bengals are able to get that 10th win of the year, as they're looking like a force to be reckoned with come January. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were losers in that one to the visiting LA Chargers. 38-17, the final score. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. 20-17, your final. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out of this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
They'll look to throw. And the catch made. It's Patton. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to make it fourth down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Colts send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And it's fielded at the 34. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And they will take over first and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Second and 9 now. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Out of the gun now on third down. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A big play there for Indy. And even 50 yards.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Dancing to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So a 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
At the 16-yard line.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. They'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Take it at the 37. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Patton. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out, and that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. And he fields it cleanly. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Patton. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline, and that is incomplete. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Now a give right side. It's Patton, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They're going to look to throw. Gets it to Meredith complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Up the middle they go. Patton. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs officially begin. But for some teams, trying to fight to make it to the playoffs, they're actually in a playoff push right now.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he goes out right around the 39. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll look to throw again. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Patton, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. 3rd down, Patton. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And he comes back with one complete.
And the Colts are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on first and goal. So a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. Under pressure, they got him again. It's a big loss of 5 there on second down to bring up third and goal. They'll set up a throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. A nightmare on third and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Second and 1. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and 2.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts 35.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Leads to second and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to throw again. Going to throw right side here, complete.
That's good for another Saints.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Incomplete. Intended for his wideout. It's now second and 10.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
To number 19.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now Indianapolis set to...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Room here to run. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you got to like what you saw. What do they call that, a total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Colts, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the home team here, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.